Hey, my name is Mike, and this is a too long didn't read version of the Iron Maidens on normal. Each of these bosses has their own set of abilities, but instead of telling you what boss does which ability, I'll just tell you what to do when that ability happens. If you get the rapid fire debuff on you, you want to make sure to get out of the raid as fast as possible. A couple seconds after you get it, a circle will start following you. You just want to kite this around the room. At any point throughout this fight, when you see the solid red beam, you have to stand in front of it. It gets put on a random player, and then after 6 seconds, the shot goes off, and the damage that's dealt is split amongst everyone that's in that beam. If you get this beam, just stay still and don't move. At 30, Fury Enforcer Sorka gets a buff called Convulsive Shadows. It deals damage every 2 seconds per stack, and a stack is removed every time it does damage. This can be dispelled, but the person that does dispel it will take some damage. Blood Ritual is a frontal cone ability targeted at a random person in the raid. That person wants to try to get out of the way of everyone else. You'll see a dark red swirly targeted at the person with Blood Ritual on them, so if you don't have the debuff, you can just run out of the way of that line. Throughout this fight, the bosses will jump on a ship. Whichever boss has the lowest amount of health is the one that will go on the ship. The same boss will never go on the ship twice until all the bosses have gone up once. To get up on the ship, there's chains that spawn in the back of the room that players should run to and click. When Merrick the Blooded goes up, there's only one ad to fight. This ad is constantly spawning red puddles underneath players, so you always have to move him. When Enforcer Sorka goes on the ship, there's 3 ads. Gorak always throws a knife at the closest person and reduces their movement speed. The other 2 ads have a stacking movement speed and haste buff, but every successful melee hit they do on a player makes that player do more damage to them. Your main priority should be Gorak. When Admiral Garen goes on the ship, there's 2 ads. When this boss goes up, a tank isn't required for this, because these guys don't hit that hard. Upcar has a frontal cone ability that you don't want to stand in, and Rog will cast Earthen Barrier, which should be interrupted. If it's not interrupted, either him or Upcar will get an absorption effect put on them. You don't have to kill Rog, you only have to kill Upcar to get off of this ship. Once you deal with whatever ad is up here, you need to go to the back of the ship and then press the bombs to get back on the main ground. When you're on the ship, you have about 90 seconds to get to the bombs at the end, otherwise whichever maiden is up there will kill all of you. The people that don't go on the ship have a new mechanic to work with. What will happen is these red circles will come down and they will spawn bombs, and immediately after, the majority of the room will get covered in more circles. What you need to do is you need to run to a safe spot, and then when the red circles go away, make sure you're not standing near a bomb that's going to explode. Red bombs like this are going to explode very soon, so you don't want to stand near those, but gray ones like this are safe to stand by for a few seconds. The bosses still do their mechanics during this phase, so you might have to kite rapid fire, and you might have to stack up for the red beam. You want to make sure to keep the Iron Maidens similar in health, because at 20% they go into Iron Fury. Every 20 seconds they get a 10% damage increase. Also at this point, turrets are spawning around the room, which should be killed immediately. They shoot fireballs in a circular motion the entire time they're alive. Also at this point, Enforcer Sorka will fixate on a player for 8 seconds. After those 8 seconds, she'll teleport to them, doing a high amount of damage, so healers pay attention to this. Also, a portion of the damage Merrick is doing to the tanks is done to the raid, so pretty much there's a lot of damage going on in this phase. Merrick the Blooded and Admiral Garen are the ones that you should focus down in this phase, because they're the ones that do the raid-wide AoE and spawn the turrets respectively. That was a too long didn't read version of the Iron Maidens on normal. If you have any questions, let me know down below in the comments. Thanks for watching and have a great day.